You're watching the best stock car drivers in the country doing battle here in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. We're working lap 18 of 23 here in the NAPA 100, and the top 4 drivers, Fitzpatrick, Ranger, Micks, and Steckly, have been all over each other.
Well, the same characters week in and week out at the front of this NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, and they're putting on one whale of a show here.
Small piece of debris on the curb on the exit of that corner is well out of the racing groove, so that won't cause a problem for these leaders. But Ranger has closed the gap, and JR Fitzpatrick with one mistake, and that opens the door for the 27.
Well, I've been talking about him driving. Look at this, we're going to go 3 wide. No, Kerry Micks thinks better of it. And look at this, a drag race down the backstretch. Chevrolet to the inside. JR, keep it straight, and he's going to take... No, a big wiggle out of the 27.
A huge braking wiggle for the 27 of Ranger, but he gathers it up and heads back down the straightaway in the lead as JR Fitzpatrick heads up through the gears, giving chase.
Well, JR Fitzpatrick has been flawless all race long. He makes one little mental judgment, misses the corner a little bit, and it's going to cost him the lead right now. He's going to fight back. He's running back hard. Look at him pull up.
Once again, listen to this crowd roar in Montreal as hometown favorite Ranger has taken the lead on the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick. Here comes your points leader, Scott Steckly, to the outside of the O2 Kerry Micks and around him.
We talked about that big Dodge horsepower earlier. Steckly's been sitting back watching Kitty by the door, and he just drove by Mixie like he was anchored.
So move the tow truck in a box. Number 22 of Scott Steckly up into third. Steckly gets a little bit loose. Is this going to open the door for the O2 Kerry Micks? No, now with 4 laps to go.
With 4 to go, JR Fitzpatrick right back of the bumper of the 27. Here we go, up across the curb. He's taking a run at him. He's there.
JR Fitzpatrick almost got to the bumper of the 27 that time, but these two, despite racing back and forth, are opening up a gap on the 22 of Scott Steckly.
Ranger got a little bit of drive off that corner, pulled away, but JR Fitzpatrick under braking, right back to the back bumper of that Ford Fusion.
Billy, in a case like this late in the race, do you want to be in front or do you want to be in behind?
Well, in the lead's the best way, but you know what? JR Fitzpatrick made a small error. He's going to be mad at himself, but he's done a great job all day long. Now he's just got to hound him. With 4 to go, he's just got to put the pressure to him, and who knows, at the end of the race, what's going to happen.
Well, JR Fitzpatrick may very well be kicking himself inside that race car, but he's also kicking that car into gear. He's driving it for all it's worth, giving the chase to the 27 Walmart Ford Fusion of Ranger.
Ranger inside there just driving for this win. He finished second last year, and there's the replay. JR just too much rear brake, I imagine, going into the corner, missed it, crossed the grass, and he was just eaten alive by the 2 Fords, but he was able to get back into second spot. He had a good shot at closing the door, but Ranger was just in there much farther. And look at that, he's taking a look again. JR Fitzpatrick back up beside the 27.
This on the outside of the casino straightaway as JR Fitzpatrick almost gets into Ranger. They go down hard into the braking zone. Ranger back into second now as Fitzpatrick takes the lead once again.
I told you that young fellow was tenacious. JR Fitzpatrick giving nothing up here in the road course. He powered back around that Ford Fusion.
Now these two do have a rivalry carried over from last year. If you remember back to Ranger's first win at Mosport, his first in a stock car in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. He bumped the 84 JR Fitzpatrick out of the way to take the win there. We'll see if he does it again here in Montreal. He's so hungry to win here in the NAPA 100.
But that's what was so great about that pass. JR Fitzpatrick hounded him, never touched him. Nice, clean pass. The young guy did a great job to get the lead back.
Under 3 laps to go now, and the man who's been dominant all day long, the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick, continues to pace the field. Ranger and Steckly second and third.
Well, Dave, with 3 laps to go, if you've been saving anything, throw it out the side window because it's time to go. And these guys are going to use the curbs, the grass, the asphalt, whatever it takes to get to the front.
But now it's Ranger who has to get close enough to the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick in order to make a move as Ranger sits in second, cooling those tires, waiting for his opening. And of course, we've mentioned this is a doubleheader weekend here in Montreal, the NASCAR Nationwide Series, also starting a little bit later on today, and Todd standing by with Ron Hornaday.
Interested observer of this race, Ron Hornaday, who's about to get into his car in just a little while for qualifying. What have you seen so far? What do you like?
Mr. Barrett, or Stan Barrett and myself are sitting there watching these cars go around. This is pretty exciting. Good, clean cars and a lot of spectators. So I mean, this is what it's all about. It's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun to come to Montreal. And how's your car, do you think?
My car is pretty good, but these guys are amazing because they're only allowed one certain brake caliper and everything else, and they all got to run the same. And with our cars, we're running out of brakes. I can't imagine these guys, so they're running a lot of laps. So it's pretty exciting to see how close the racing is already. The top 8 or 10 are right there, swapping the lead back and forth, so it's a lot of fun to watch.
Thanks, Ron.
And we did have a change for second spot. Scott Steckly did get around the 27, but Andrew Ranger passed him right back. But things are heating up at the front end of this pack.
JR Fitzpatrick, he wants to see that racing behind him. He wants that 22 get up there and get Dyson with the 27, so that'll give him some room. And we got lap traffic coming into play as well.
Under 2 laps to go as the leader takes a look at the back end of the 67 of David Thorndike. Thorndike will no doubt pull to the inside. Let the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick go around as we ride on board with the driver of the black Monte Carlo.
Let's ride on board. Here we go. Up through the gearbox. Short shifting so he doesn't spin the tires. That's what that sound was. And he got a great drive off the corner. Look at that Chevrolet Hall of Mail.
Billy, is JR Fitzpatrick remembering what happened a few laps to go that cost him the lead?
Absolutely. He's back in his rhythm now, wanting not to make that same mental judgment to get in there a little too hot. All he's got to do is hit the marks, and he's good to go. He's a great little driver. He's led most of this race, and he's the man to beat right now.
And it is a 3-horse race at the front of the field in the NAPA 100. Down into the Dodge hairpin they go. Look at the gap the top 3 have. Back on 4th place, Kerry Micks, as Scott Steckly takes a look underneath. And now DJ Kennington with a good drive off of that Dodge hairpin, trying to get past the O2 beyond digital imaging. Ford Taurus of Kerry Micks.
Look at this. Here's the front 3. The 27 blocking the 22. The 22 had a great drive up the front stretch there, and the 27 just used up all the racetrack.
And Kerry Micks doing the same on DJ Kennington as he holds his position in 4th spot. Coming up to the white flag, there will be 1 lap remaining here in the NAPA 100. JR Fitzpatrick, can he hold on to win here in Montreal?
He's just got to hit his marks one more time, and here comes Ranger charging hard, sliding that Tide Fusion.
Andrew Ranger,
JR gets sideways. 27 going underneath. JR on the power, spinning the tires and lost the top spot.
JR Fitzpatrick once again a little bit hot into the Senna S's, and coming off, lost the lead. Fitzpatrick may have no rear tires left. He's right around in the 84. JR Fitzpatrick goes around into the wall. Scott Steckly avoids, but a huge plume of smoke. Now Andrew Ranger all by himself out in front.
Wow, what a turn of events. JR Fitzpatrick around in a cloud of smoke. 22 Scott Steckly's got to check out, and that man's all by himself to the checker flag.
All Andrew Ranger has to do is hit his marks, be conservative if he needs to bring this 27 Walmart Tide Ford Fusion home in the top spot here in his hometown of Montreal. Imagine the crowd reaction in about half a lap time when Andrew Ranger, look at them, they're already on their feet.
This place is going to get burned down. The hometown kid is going at it. A year ago was the same scenario with Kerry Micks, and they battled right to the end. And there's Mixie and DJ getting into it right down to the last lap. That's for 3rd spot. It's going to be the hometown kid, Andrew Ranger.
Scott Steckly, your points leader, comfortably in 2nd spot. You saw Kerry Micks give a little shake of the fist to DJ Kennington as they head down the casino straightaway. Andrew Ranger all by himself in top spot through corner 15 or 14 and 15 for the final time. Now he'll pass the wall of champions. Look at this crowd on their feet as Andrew Ranger comes home the winner in Montreal.
The Roxton Pond Quebec kid has done it this year in Montreal.
Scott Steckly will come home in 2nd spot, and the O2 of Kerry Micks will finish 3rd as the crew celebrates, and so does Andrew Ranger. Todd's win his crew chief.
Bill Burns, what a way to win that race. Hammer and tong back and forth, and you come up with a victory here in Montreal.
Oh, it's awesome. Tide Walmart, thank you very much for giving me this kid to have this guy drive my car. He's a real talent, and he deserves to be up in the big leagues. There's no doubt about it. But I just kept telling him to pressure JR. We didn't quite have enough motor for him, but just keep pressuring him to see if he'd make a mistake.
Go celebrate.
And that's exactly what they'll do. They'll head to victory lane as there is an obviously dejected JR Fitzpatrick limping that 84 Chevy Monte Carlo back to the pits. But there is your winner here in the NAPA 100, Andrew Ranger. We'll be back to talk with him in victory lane.